Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I've noticed got a lot of questions lately just in video comments and things. People asking me about things like protein absorption. It's the sillier old school stuff like how much protein can you absorb in one sitting? Do you need enzymes, digestive enzymes to help you absorb protein? Do plants and other things have different rates of absorption? Can the anti-nutrients block like 50% of the absorption in plant-based sources and all sorts of things? And guys, let's get some points clear here. First of all, we know that human beings, that from everything that we can tell about our species, we are extremely adept and efficient at absorbing and utilizing protein. And what that means is that the protein that you eat, unless you have some disease that is causing a problem to where you're either just crapping it out really fast or expelling it somehow, or some issue with absorbing stuff through the lining of your intestine, some disease, something wrong with you, you're not going to have any issue getting the vast overwhelming majority of any protein source you eat, no matter where it comes from, how much of it you eat in one sitting. You're going to be able to absorb 90 to 100% of it. That's going to be your range. Now, that being said, do you need enzymes for that? No, you don't need any additional digestive enzymes. If you need any sort of enzymes or anything for you to take extra to help you absorb protein, you probably have a major medical problem, and a digestive enzyme that you get over the counter somewhere is the least of your concerns. You need to be consulting a gastroenterologist or registered dietitian because you got major problems. So we can throw out the enzyme thing. The same with one sitting. Look, all that happens when you eat more protein in one sitting is you digest it and absorb it slower. So protein that might only have taken you 8 or 12 hours to absorb all of it could take 48 or 72 hours because you ate 500 grams of it in one meal. Because you sat down and you ate 4 or 5 pounds of meat or something in one sitting. It just slows down the absorption rate because you can only get so much of it per hour. Now, as far as the plant things go, this was brought up the other day because I pointed out that potatoes, for example, have a higher amino acid profile than a lot of meats, including beef. They do. There's a higher quality amino acid profile. It's more complete than most meats are. But someone else pointed out that potato protein, for example, can be slightly behind, just a hair behind beef when you look at the total adjusted amino acid profile when absorption and things like that are taken into consideration. And they are right because some plant sources, because of the fiber and things like that, and I hate this term anti-nutrients, fiber and things like that can block a little bit of the absorption of the protein, which might sound like a big concern to people because people have these misconceptions about how much protein they need to gain muscle and things, which is just absurd. In fact, if anything is blocking the absorption of some of your protein, you're making better use of the calories in terms of losing fat. If you're trying to cut, that's a good thing. So fiber in general, high fiber, could potentially cut some of the calories you're absorbing from all of your foods, not just protein, and that's a good thing when you're cutting. And so it comes down to this point of people think that they need more protein than they do, so they panic about that. And trust me, it's not going to be an issue. There are plenty of massive, strong, powerful athletes around the world who pretty much eat vegan type diets. They're getting all of their protein from sources that are complete plant sources full of fiber and everything else, and so they're absorbing enough just fine to be the best of the best in the world. It's not a problem. If you guys go do your research, there's plenty of them out there. So that shouldn't even be a concern there as far as the fiber blocking it. But yeah, they are right, is that because of that, protein from potatoes might be about 1% behind protein from beef. For example, because even though it has a superior amino acid profile, you're absorbing a few percentages, maybe 5% less of the total protein from it. But at the end of the day, people make a bigger deal about protein than they really should for their performance purposes, muscle building purposes, things like that. And as far as fat loss purposes go, all of these points that people are making or they're concerned about, if you were trying to lose fat, if these things were true, it would actually be more beneficial to you, because anything that's blocking you absorbing more of the calories that you eat is going to be beneficial for fat loss. Unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way as much as you might think that it does. So your fears for the gaining muscle and then the benefits that you get from them from cutting are not nearly as strong as you would hope they are either. So ultimately, guys, don't stand around worrying dramatically about protein absorption. It's not significant. You don't need to worry about how much protein you're eating in one sitting or one meal, enzymes, how much of your protein isn't being absorbed by fiber. The odds are for most of you out there, the overwhelming majority of you out there, the amount of protein that you're getting and absorbing and utilizing for muscle building purposes is probably a complete non-issue. The only people who might need to worry about it are people like me who are following completely vegan diets and trying to gain muscle and strength as quickly as possible. We're the only people who should probably even care at all about this stuff. So for the majority of you, this is a non-issue. All right, guys, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot before I go. Oh.